welcome back to a new video. This time we will be talking about the difference between chipmunks and squirrels. And you will all have this paper. You all got this paper in your last pickup. So first thing that we are going to do is, you see these lines here, we have to answer these questions before we draw the appropriate animal above the answer. So let's answer our questions. What lives in a dray up in a tree? Is it a chipmunk or a squirrel? All right, so the answer is squirrels. Squirrels live in a dray up in a tree. And so you are going to write squirrel right here. And this is the area that we have to draw our squirrel. So we don't want to write so our letters are huge and gigantic, because then we would only have this much room to draw the squirrel. Okay, so I'm going to use my clues and just copy the letters and write squirrel. All right, squirrels live in a dray up in a tree. So that means that it's chipmunks that live in a burrow underground. And chipmunks is written for me right here. So again, like squirrels, I'm just going to copy the letters chipmunks. And remember, see, I didn't write my letters too big, so I have plenty of room to draw my squirrel. Same thing with the chipmunks. And since you guys are really learning how to write your letters in the right way, and dealing with the tall sticks and the ones that hang down below, a lowercase p for chipmunks. This part sits on the line and then the stick goes below the line. Just something to keep in mind when you're writing. Same thing with the Q. The line for the Q goes below the line that you write on. Okay? So let's continue on. Our next question. What has a big bushy tail? Do chipmunks have a big bushy tail or squirrels? Yes, it's squirrels. So again, just like up here, you're going to write squirrels on this line. And what has a small tail? You guessed it, chipmunks. So now we'll write chipmunks. And then after that, we will begin to draw the critters. All right, we are going to illustrate our squirrel, our first squirrel. And these are the two colors that I will be using, black and gray. And I'm not going to use a pencil for outlining first, just because we never would in the classroom, and it's just a good habit to not get into when you're doing your school assignments. And it's okay, we're just going to go slow. And yeah, you don't really need to outline it in pencil first. But I am going to outline in black because the squirrel is going to be gray, and it will just look better with a black outline so you can see the features. And so this is the space I have, and I'm going to start with the head. So I'm going to make kind of like a very rounded, a bit like a triangle, but with rounded corners, not pointy corners. And then they have two ears that are also triangles. And two eyes. And a little upside down triangle nose. Okay, there's our squirrel's face. Then we'll do its body. This is kind of like a longer rectangle with rounded corners. And then I'll do two little arms. And then I'll do a little foot here and a little foot here. And then it has a big bushy tail. So we have to draw the big bushy tail. So I'm going to come to the outside right here, and I'm going to go up to about the same height as the ears. And then I'm going to curve around and come back down. And then I might add some darker black bushy looking tail details. Okay, now that it is all black, I'm going to use my gray, and I'm going to lightly color it in. Okay? All right, there's our cute little squirrel. So the next one we will be doing is the chipmunk. And for the chipmunk, I will keep the black crayon that I have. I will also get brown. Ah, it's rolling away. And same thing, I'm going to outline the chipmunk in black, and then we will color it in with the brown. So for the chipmunk, this is also going to start with the head, and it is also going to be like a rounded triangle. Okay? Same thing, 2 little ears, 2 eyes, and then a nose, upside down triangle. And the important detail that we want to do on the chipmunk is it has 2 black lines around its eye, just going right around on each side of the dot. Good. And then I'm going to take the crayon and start on this side of the head, and I'm going to do its back. And then again, this is kind of a long rectangle-ish shape for the body with rounded corners. I'll do its feet. And it has a longer foot back here. And then it has a little tail. So it's kind of like a part of a triangle, but kind of curved. Okay? And then again, they have 2 black stripes on their back. So before I get my brown, I'm going to do 2, kind of pushing hard to make the lines show up. And I'm leaving a space. Let me get the white just so you can see. Leaving a space right here because there is a white line. You can color it with a little bit of white if you want, but white doesn't show up on white paper. But maybe it will help you not color in there when we fill in the brown, which is what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to stay inside my lines. Going to go around all of the details. See, I'm not going to color inside there. Okay. And the ear. And the top of the face. Then its legs. Right on the very top of this line, there's a little bit of space. And then I'm going to go around the 2 black lines. Because we need to make sure this white stripe is evident so we know for sure. Oh, that's a chipmunk. Okay. Doing my best to stay inside the lines and fill it in so there's no white spots where there shouldn't be any white spots. And the tail. All right, kiddos. There's the squirrel. Oh, I forgot something. And the chipmunk. They do have whiskers. So I take my black crayon. Give it a little whisker. Not as big as a cat. All right. Same thing down here. Squirrel. And you have already drawn the squirrel up here. So just copy it and do it exactly the same down here. And the same thing with the chipmunk. You're not going to change anything. Just draw it exactly the same as you did here. All right, here are my other 2 illustrations. There's my squirrel. My crayon got a little funky, so now it looks like this one has a mustache instead of whiskers. And there's my other chipmunk. All right, that side is done. Now you're going to take your paper and flip it over, and we are going to answer these questions. So now you're going to put your crayons away and get a pencil. Okay, I got my pencil ready to answer the questions, but first I need to write my name. This is good practice for all you kiddos to write your name. Capital, lowercase, lowercase, lowercase. And then when you're done, let's begin. It says, circle the answer or animal that does these things. Sorry about the barking dogs in the background. They like to do that. All right. Okay, number 1. What eats mushrooms? Chipmunks or squirrels? Yes, it's squirrels. You're right. So you are going to circle squirrels. Number 2. What collects nuts and acorns? Chipmunks or squirrels? Do chipmunks collect nuts and acorns? Yes, they do. And what about squirrels? Do squirrels collect nuts and acorns? You're right, they do. So on this, you circle both of them. All right, number 3. What runs up and down trees? Chipmunks or squirrels? Yes, it's squirrels. I actually came outside to film my video because I was hoping that I could see a squirrel running up a tree. But of course, they didn't show up today. Sorry. All right, number 4. What carries nuts in their cheeks? Chipmunks or squirrels? So, who carries nuts in their cheeks? You're right, it's both of them. Chipmunks and squirrels. So we're going to circle both of them. All right, last question. What has black and white stripes? I'm gonna flip over my picture. Looks like it's only the chipmunks that have black and white stripes. So on this, we will circle chipmunks. Yay! And your chipmunk and squirrel paper is done. Good job, kids!